What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here, guitarjams.com. Happy to bring you guys another lesson. Been thinking about it a lot. I wanted to, put it down. I've taught this concept before, but I can't emphasize it enough on how important your rhythm playing is. I'm going to leave a link for 3 awesome blues licks that I made a while back. Clapton, SRV, B.B. King style. There's that link right down there. You can go check them out. But let's zoom in, and I'm going to show you this rhythmic device, which, like I said, I think is very important.
So here we go.
So here's what we got. We're going to just do blues and A. The 3 chords, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord are the 3 chords of blues. And for us right now, we're going to keep it real simple. I'm going to play an A7 bar chord, which is just like an A bar chord with the pinky off, though. So that's our 1 chord. That's the 5th fret right there, A7 chord. The 4 chord is going to be D7. I'm just going to take the same shape and move it up to the D note there, which is the 10th fret. And then the 5 chord is a whole step up from the 4 chord, and that's E7. All right, so that's your basic idea of the 3 chords, all the same shape. Another thing you can do instead of that or with it, with 2 guitar players, is that kind of 12-bar boogie thing where we're just playing the power chord of that full bar chord. And then adding our pinky up a whole step, which is a little tricky, but you should work on that. Get the idea there. So those are 2 kind of obvious things. Here's the one, though, that was really successful in that last clinic, and it's always successful when I give a guitar lesson to somebody, too, who feels like they have boring rhythm. So instead of that, we're going to do this vibe. There's basically 2 little shapes, and then you can improvise how you rhythmically do them. But basically, you think of that, but then we're not going to play it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking of how to plug this thing in. So instead of this full bar chord, we've got the root right here as well on the 5th fret of the high E. We're going to just bar all 3 top strings here. And then my index finger is kind of muting that D string. So you can't really hear it, the tip of that finger right there. And anytime we're going to play that, we're going to hammer don't hurt 'em, on the 6th fret of the G string while we hold this little cluster here like this. So you're still hearing the B and the high E string, and then we're hammering that on. Now check this out. All right, so that's our little jumping off point. What we're going to add now is we're going to add this little thing right here, and that's going to be, it's just really emphasizing two notes. It's going to be a whole step up from this bar, and it's the G string and the B string. And so the thing that you want to work on is this kind of vibe. And so you're always hammering up to that. You're not going to be hearing, and that will tend to happen for a beginner there. They're going to confuse the pull off with the hammer up. You only want to hear it hammering down onto the string. You don't want to hear the pull off. So real slow. And so to get to not hear that high E string on that, I'm kind of avoiding it, but also I'm just kind of pressing down on the G and B and not like barring over to get that. I'm just using the little pad of my ring finger to kind of get those two notes. So now you also have that D string if you want it. And what I tend to do a lot, which is just another variation, is I like to go. So when I hit this cluster here, the 7th fret of the G and the B, then I just pick that root note, roll my ring finger over with a separate pick, then that. And I'll throw that in with a solo too. So here's the other one. From here, you could think of sliding your ring finger, where it's already here on the 7th fret, sliding it up a whole step, so now it's on the 9th fret, and then getting your middle finger on the 8th fret of the B. That's going to always work as well. So check this out. And so when I'm getting it ready, you can start a half step below if you want, or a whole step below. I think the half step works better because of where your middle finger is. So right there, it's the 8th fret and the 7th fret. Slid up a half step. Then you can do that. So I'm going to just do the one chord, and I'm going to improvise that concept here. So. So you can do an up strum to get the high string in there first on the strum. scene. Anyway, hopefully you saw some ideas there. And start really simple if you're a beginner, you know. Holding that. Take it real slow. All right, that was it. Hope you got something from that. I've got those 3 bonus blues licks right down there. I really appreciate all your support, and hopefully we'll see you in another one of these videos real soon. Take care. See you later.